is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips, and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well. Liverpool FC.
My idea was to go Liverpool into
The fuck?
Welcome
I
to.
can't even do the intro.
Yes, Anfield South. We're not happy. Let's just not even. I can't even. Not today. And the thing is, it's not even just today. It is last week, the week before, just the last 4 or 5 games. I mean, it's me, your boy Slim, as always.
Bajan Bros is in the building. I am on fire tonight. I cannot wait. Slim, start the show already, man. Start the show.
Good evening, chaps. How's it going? Right.
Professor Paul's with us. And of course, the man who the New Look Pod could not do without, Engineer Sam.
This shit. I'm not doing it, especially after a loss. Get on with it, man. Come on.
Listen, man. Well, let's go back quickly because we didn't do a pod for the Newcastle game. So we'll just touch on the Newcastle game. The final score was 0-0. And we won't actually go into Newcastle game because I feel like a lot of the things from today's game apply to the Newcastle game. So it was another away day draw for us. Today's result, 1-0 loss against Southampton. I mean,
where do you want to start, bro? Tell me. Where do you want to start?
Learn some of that.
The way we conceded, the way the starting lineup. What do you want to go with, bro? Tell me. What? It is. So, me personally, I feel that we should have gone with one of the Nat Phillips. I think should have started at the back. Is he injured? He wasn't injured. He was on the bench, right?
On the bench, yeah.
He was on the bench. I think I would. I don't know for what reason he's there, but I would have had him on there. Him and Fabs.
As far as I'm aware.
And then Robbo, Trent. In the middle, I wouldn't have played Ox. To be fair, with what it was, I'd have probably played Milli Vanilli in there. Milli. No, but I said that from the start. To be fair, I spoke to Sam before the game, and I said I wouldn't. Ox is chasing his old kind of thing that he had. That he just seems a bit he doesn't seem right on the ball. Like it's all a bit mad right now. He's not even got the ball under his spell at all when he's running with it. But anyway, I personally feel that I've been telling you guys from a long time the dip in form was going to come at some point, innit? But I think we're going to be okay. This is what I honestly, and I was the one that was saying to everyone, bloody hell, it's doomsday with all these injuries. But these are going to be like new signings when they come back, lads. Come on, chin up.
But Lee, they're not coming back this season.
Yeah. No, you know what it is? I'm trying to do I've got the Clinton Morrison look going on today, lads. You know what I mean? Clinton Morrison on Sky Sports. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look a bit professional. Normally, I'm sitting there with my iPhone.
Okay.
Don't worry, I ain't going without you guys, man. I've got you, man. Don't worry about that. But no, come on, lads.
You can forget
what is the thing at hand? Yeah. First goal. What is Trent doing, lads? Are we not blaming him for this, no?
Well, ironically, Henderson was playing on one side.
You know what?
He would have been offside.
Right. Well, I'm going to blame Henderson as well slightly because rewatching it, I could see Henderson calling Genie, come in. And I think Genie's in no man's land, marking no one. And I think if he leaves Wijnaldum where he is, he picks up Ings' run because Trent is looking at Walcott, which rightly so because he's the wide man. And Ings obviously runs Trent's back.
I don't know what this was.
Trent could have cleared it.
What was that? I don't know what that was.
Do you know what it was? It was the example of his performance at the moment. I was saying before we started, he looks disinterested.
mixed with a bit of lack of confidence. Beginning the game, I was saying he's not even given the ball away. When he came off, they said he'd given away the ball 38 times. He's playing it long too often. When he's got the ball, it looks like to me that he's looking at his opponents like they're giants, and they're all cornering him in the corner, and he can't get out. He's got no outball in terms of his personality, like play it inside and demand it for a 1-2. Beat a man. He nutmegged someone earlier in the second half, and it changed the whole angle for him. And he tried this beautiful little, well, it wasn't beautiful execute, but he tried the outside of the football, and that's what opened up for him. At the moment, he's so rigid. He's there in his square, and he's just going bang down the line, bang down the line. He doesn't even go sort of between the line up to a Firmino.
Was that a tonight's game thing, or has that been a theme of the last few games? Because tonight, in his defence, I think playing with Henderson
I don't
alongside
think it's an
him,
excuse, because
I
we're
think
talking about the way he plays
first
football, the way
priority was
his
to
ability
protect
and
the
how he's
back.
performing. Hence, the first bit was when he missed the chest, isn't it? So his defending's been poor. Him on the ball has been poor. His decision making's poor. That's got nothing to do with Henderson. If you're worried that you're playing with Williams or Phillips or Henderson, then you're staying back and you're still playing beautiful 60-yard passes. He's not doing any of that.
Do you know what, Paul?
Fair enough. Just to touch on what Bajan Bruce said, Sam, do you think the back line was right today,
I
or?
was actually happy with it. I didn't really mind seeing Henderson at the back, purely because I was so desperate to get Thiago into the midfield. There was a couple of shouts in the group that were basically saying that, having Henderson at the back is horrible, not just because he's not a defender, but what goes missing from the midfield. And today was the worst example of that. I kind of believe that, and I said this to Leroy when we spoke before the game, that there was a message from Klopp in this, but it's come at the worst possible time, and we've got the worst possible result from it. Yes, we need another centre back, but to perform like that, when you've got two centre backs on the bench, I don't actually think that it was worth the risk. I thought Klopp took a calculated risk today and thought, we've got enough to beat these. They've got a lot of their threats missing. Vestergaard wasn't there, Romeo wasn't there, the boy Che Adams wasn't there. They had players missing. Their keeper wasn't there. And he thought we had enough to beat these. So I'm going to put on show the fact that I'm playing my captain midfielder, fantastic, centre-back, because I need another one, and I've got two young kids on the bench. Not even young kids. The boy Williams is what, 23 or something? Yeah. And for me, in terms of their experience, fair enough, I feel like Klopp fucked himself today.
Yeah, but they're young in terms of their experience.
I feel like he actually did this as a message. And to put the team at risk and to give the points away, granted, we had enough time to get back in the game, but we're out of form. And I thought it was a risk that went horribly, horribly wrong. On paper, I look good. It looked good for me, but I'm in shock at what I saw.
No, I disagree with you, big man, because I don't think the changes in the defence made a difference to the way the team performed. They weren't culpable for the goal. Southampton threatened a couple of times, but on the whole, Henderson and Fabinho together were pretty comfortable. I think Klopp wanted to send a message, yes, but I think he knew we'd dominate the ball, so he wanted, I think, having two midfielders at the back.
Can I agree with both of you there?
You can
And
play.
add to it. Can I agree with both of you? I think it probably was a little bit of a message. When we second half against Fulham, when Henderson went there, we've noticed the last few games, everyone's doing it. We were going to dominate the ball anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, captain hindsight, like Sam, I was like, yeah, that team looks decent. We're going to dominate the ball, and you've literally got all your best players on the pitch. That's what you're trying to do, basically, yeah? But, like you said, Slim, it made no difference, really, because we're not playing very well. So, we're dominating the ball anyway, but we're not creating. Do you know what I mean? Sam and Lee could have gone at the back. Do you know what I mean? And dominate the ball because they give you the ball, right? So my issue is, and I've been saying this in the last few, and if I could just finish it off, We are playing the same way too often. There's a reason why Robertson and Trent are lauded. It's because they get 12, 13, 14, 15 assists a season. Brilliant. But people are trying to block us. They're trying to block the near post runs, and they're trying to block the back post as well. They're following Mane and Salah everywhere when they're whipping it. So why can't we try and play between the lines sometimes? I saw Thiago today. No, first of all, I tried to say Cato and Jones have been ignored, and people like, shout out to Chris Hills, were going, no, they're inexperienced, so they've been ignored. When you see Thiago play, you will see him get the ball. I saw Thiago ignored today. 47 minutes to start the second half. He was ignored by Fabinho. He said, give it to me short. He was ahead of him by 5 yards. Fabinho ignored him and went long. It's a pattern of play. It's too predictable now. It's wide to Trent, wide to Robertson, whip it in. Or Robertson and Trent play it down the channels and chase it down the channels. It's too predictable.
Do you know what? Do you know? Go on, Sim. Do you know what my thing is? Yeah, just to add to what you're saying, Paul. Yeah,
Fine, go on.
is me personally today. Again, I'm actually starting to. You actually see for me who our best attacking player is at the minute and has been for a while, which is Mane. Now, what it is with what Mane tries to do, yeah. He's trying to grab the ball, and they know, these teams know. If you watch how it against Furlong had a great game against him, but got roasted by Tierney. You know what I mean? Tonight, you had the other lad on Mane tonight. What's it? Carl Walker's Peters or whatever. And he's had a good game against him. I can't knock him, but this is where Mo has to step up. You know what I find with Mo, what Mo does? Everyone, don't get me wrong, I'm not against Mo, but I want to see Mo doing what he can do. And I said this on the last show. He needs to start going at people. He needs to start pulling defenders out. Like, start pulling these geezers away from staying like that. He's almost, to me, he's looking for the perfect ball to come into him for him to score. There was a ball played in near the end by Robbo. I think, no, it was Mane actually. I think it might have been Mane. He's cut it across. And it had to be like it would have had to be like the absolute most perfect ball to have reached Mo. If Mo comes in, because I can't remember who gets beat, someone gets beat there, and Walker Peters gets rid of it. But what I'm saying is, we need more of what Mane's doing. Mane is actually, for me, he's performing. He's trying to ting. The rest are not thinking.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you said that, because watching the game. Sorry, Sam. Because watching the game, I thought, how much more can Mane do to win this game? He reminded me of a Stevie G in his prime, getting the game by the scruff of his neck and trying to make things happen. But I think the difference between Mo and Mane is your stand the guy up, beat him, get in the box, whip it, score, whatever the case might be. Mo just looking for that ball in behind to run onto and slot. He's never been stand a man up and beat him. And that's what the problem is. They're two different players.
But do you remember? Okay, so I'll use a game as a thing. Remember when we moved to Roma in that good few seasons back in that Champions League semi-final? Yeah, those times there, Mo was almost getting chalk from the touchline on his flipping boots, like I want to see him pulling. You got to pull guys out. This predictable bullshit of the same thing, and he's trying to nip it. It's the same. You've got to change it up.
When he does it, if he goes down and he goes onto his right foot, he won't cross it with his right.
I just don't understand, man.
On his left to try and get a shot in.
Yeah. It's crazy, and these are the little things, you know.
I think we're all echoing the same thing right now. The predictability of our play. I think that's a problem. There needs to be a bit of variety.
Can I add to something about predictability as well?
When he says play through the lines. I think
we spoke about this at half time, Slim. These are the type of games when we're predictable, when what we normally do isn't working, that Thiago has been brought for. Now, we spoke at half time and I came to the conclusion that I don't think Thiago at the moment is up to speed enough to play as a 6. Now, we've seen him in 3 games in total, and against Chelsea you can't really count because he's playing against 11 men, but he's playing against 10 men. Against Everton, he was playing as an 8 alongside Fabinho and Henderson. Right, he was playing
and
ahead.
Newcastle.
When he's playing that deep, I don't think he's up to speed enough yet to play there. He's getting pressured on the ball. He's making mistakes which we're like, what? Like, he doesn't do stuff like this. In the first couple of seconds. Like, I don't know what it is.
He got a
but
yellow
he's not
card
up
in
to
the
speed
first how
enough
many
to play as
minutes?
a 6 yet. And that goes back to our point earlier on about what you get from Henderson in that role. And for me, not only do you get him driving the team forward, he plays the simple passes, but he drags the team forward with his movement as well. Thiago stands on it, and he plays a ball between the lines every once in a while. Yeah, but when he's been playing them balls, he's been in the 8 position. He hasn't been in the 6. He hasn't been as deep as he was today. And so therefore, them balls that he normally plays that cut out the centre midfielders of the opposition to our front men, they're too far away for him to reach them. He can swing it from left to right. He can do that for fun. Yeah, but the incisive balls through the centre midfield, he can't do from a 6 because he's not up to speed enough. Plus, he had 2 centre backs behind him who weren't up with play. They weren't high enough as well. So it's like it was almost a mistake to play him as a 6 today with those centre backs.
Yeah,
for me, I just thought he was way too deep.
I will say, Captain Hindsight there as well. That I in my armchair punditry, that's a mistake for me. Klopp, listen to me there, because going forward, I would love him to be a number 6 and dictate. But you're right, it was arrogance from Klopp, and it was arrogance from fans like me who saw that team sheet and went a bit Championship manager and forgot that Ox and Thiago hardly played any football, and Southampton are a hard pressing team. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a hard game. Sometimes Thiago looks small when he doesn't look small usually, because he's he's ball mastery and he's got possession of the ball. But there alone today, the number 6 being 80% fit probably in a new league, he looks like a small man, which is not his fault. It is what it is, because when you're fit, you're active, you can get there, you can do what you want. But can I just say something quick about selection, what's going on about Klopp and selection and about the centre backs? I think we've been Jedi mind tricked. It's like we always want to think about something to complain about. Well, I suppose we do. But this crisis at the back, I think we took our minds off it. We took our eyes off the ball. And when you look back at now Phillips's and Williams' performances, they weren't terrible. We haven't been kissing in too much, and we've kind of manufactured this sort of crisis. It's not manufactured, we need a centre back. But right now, those boys who played have done okay. And obviously Henderson's been pulled into that situation when I think Phillips played the last game, it was 0-0. Do you know what I mean?
But I think the reason why none of the young lads played was because of the pace. I know Klopp would have thought about the pace of Danny Ings.
Dinepo.
Young boy,
with
the blonde
But
hair.
he went off today, innit?
Yeah, but Son, we played against Son. Okay, he scored.
Gineppo. Yeah, the pace of Southampton, but hold on a sec. You can't expose the young defenders to that kind of pace. They're going to be found wanting. Yeah. I mean, who was it against?
Yeah, they did. They blew him out.
But West Brom, they nearly.
What goal was that?
They nearly score?
No, we didn't score it.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
Ings would have had a field day. There wasn't the goal; it was the chance. Yeah, Alisson saved it. So
yeah. However, he's gone
with Henderson.
Another little segue.
For that reason,
I think Klopp's starting to get a bit illogical with this. It's like he might be reading the social media post. It's two, a supposed 2+2. Yes, Phillips and Williams have a lack of pace, but they also play for Liverpool. They have played for Liverpool before, and we have won games before. As each moment of the season goes past, it seems like we have a problem that gets magnified and magnified. Oh, it's his pace. Well, we better solve it. But we've taken Henderson out of his best position to do that, while they've played against teams before that have pace. And that leads on to someone like Taki Minamino. Where is he? Where is he, Slim? No, but okay, so this is what I was hoping you'd say, something like that. So check this out.
It's not good enough.
The last game he started, he scored the most important goal in the game. The most important goal was the first or the winner. He scored that. Here. We won 7-0. No, listen, hear me out. He hasn't played since.
Do you know what? No.
He could be called John Smith. He's just a footballer.
At the required standard.
How do you know?
He's not at the required level.
Where's your proof?
As it stands right now to come onto the pitch, and because anytime he's had, listen, I tell you where my proof is, right? And this is the tacky thing done.
That's not true.
Yeah. Whenever he's come on the pitch,
it's not true. It's factually incorrect.
Once against Crystal Palace. Paul, please. He's not the answer.
He doesn't need to be an answer. He just needs to play sometimes. Because it's like
Taki's the answer.
Salah's not playing well.
He's not ready.
Ox didn't play well today.
Paul, he's
Ox
not
was
ready.
never going to play well today.
Listen.
Paul, did you want him to start?
But Taki's not the answer.
Mate, I don't even rate him that much.
I know you like the player.
Talking about. Honestly, Sam, what I'm trying to do here is just be.
Well,
I just want to forget about Taki. Then it's just about the fact.
Well, wait, I don't want to waste time talking about Taki
and hasn't played again. To me, how that's not baffling to everyone. I don't know. Yeah.
Do you know why it's not baffling? Because there's training sessions, and whatever Klopp sees in training sessions, coupled with
fine.
What he
However,
feels
we're losing
the threat of the
and drawing,
and
that's a fact.
Taki doesn't meet that bar. Yeah, but just because we're losing, it doesn't mean to say I want to see certain like we were losing.
That's what I'm going. I'm just going logical.
You know,
Bruce, back me up on logical, man.
It doesn't matter.
Back me up.
You're not going logical, bro.
Jones is another example.
I would have rather today see Curtis Jones come on,
Jones
or
is
a
another
defender
example.
come on,
2-3 weeks ago, he was playing with the month. He made a mistake.
That's what I would have preferred.
In a game where he was probably still the best midfielder, most attacking midfielder. Then he was shocking against Newcastle. That's it. He's dead. West Brom.
West Brom.
That's what I was
saying.
saying.
He made the mistake for the goal against West Brom. True. Maybe Klopp's taking him out of the firing line a bit. He got a lot of stick on social media for what happened, wrongly so. No, so you don't know that. Listen, the beauty of being a football fan is speculation. But it is what it is, speculation. We don't get to see what happens week in, week out. Like you said, Curtis Jones was getting in the starting lineup, and now he's not in the starting lineup.
I don't think it's a good enough reason. This, to me, is just a pattern again. He's done it with Keita.
Not that crazy.
He's done it with Origi. He's done it with Taki now.
What? What do you mean? What do you mean he done it with Keita? What do you mean, Paul? What do you mean he done it with Keita?
I'll give you facts. I'll give you facts.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. So when Keita signed for us 2 seasons ago, he played Palace, someone else. If you remember, 3 games in a row. We were like, it's a steady Eddie. Looks glimpses of decent football. He got dropped. He got dropped for about 3 games. Like no reason. He came back in a big. No, that's fair. But in my opinion,
no reason that you
But in my opinion, you're not going to get the best out of players like that. And I've seen a pattern with players who are not progressing at this club, who seem to get taken out, where we can all agree that they hadn't.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask a question to Sam. So, in order to progress a player, should that come over? Well, should the team, the result, the team, whatever harmony, spirit?
That's the leading question.
I don't know what you want to call it.
That's the leading question.
Should that come before that? So to further navigate,
sound like a lawyer, bro.
You play him. No, that's not a leading question. I'm asking.
What Paul's saying is when Keita was in form. The season he came, he done that turn at Crystal Palace. Yeah, he played well for 3 games. You remember the turn when we were all.
Of course, everyone knows. Yeah.
And he played well for 3 games. Yeah.
Highlight reel.
He wasn't dropped. Yeah. He wasn't dropped. He was moved to the bench because Klopp picks certain players for certain games. You know what you're asking, Slim, is do you play a player in a game which is not suited to him, which he's not gonna have an impact in? Purely based on the fact that he's in form, and he's had a couple of good games, and he's new to the league, Or do you see what the best dynamic is for the team, and how the team wins the game, and pick the players that make it right to win the game for the team, You can't specify, because what you're saying, Paul, is just because one particular player is playing okay, I'm not saying he's hat-tricks every game, assists every game. He's playing okay. You keep him in the team to give him momentum.
No, I didn't say keep him in the team. That's not.
You said you wanted to keep him in the team.
I didn't say that. That's not fair. I literally said.
All right, you
said
he was dropped, and you were unhappy that he was dropped.
No, it's not that. I'm saying, since he played, we won 7-0. He hasn't played again. We've had games when we're desperate for a goal. To me, it just seems bizarre.
Paul, do you know the maddest thing? Yeah,
he plays for the team. He's
Are you talking about Taki now?
I'm talking about Taki
now. When we
Naby.
Naby. I'll get confused. Sorry.
Taki scored the first.
That's what I'm saying.
Which you keep on saying was the most important goal of the game. Yes. Well, I'll let you have that. But bruv, he didn't play that well in the game. Yeah,
I thought he played well.
Play that well in the game. His movement was good. He done okay. He didn't do enough to warrant a starting place for the next game. That's for sure.
Yeah, whatever. Sure. I mean, Mane, Salah, and Firmino are the best in the world as a free. But if they're not playing well,
where was he? Where is he now? Yeah, he's on the bench because his performance that day and subsequently in training probably wasn't enough to get him on the pitch. It might be as simple as that, Paul. It really might.
It might be.
With Naby,
I agree.
With Naby, Naby plays well for 2 games at a time. Generally, the 3rd game he gets a knock, and then he gets injured. Yep. Now that is totally different. He literally plays well for 2 games.
Then he gets injured.
The 3rd game, he gets a knock. He's out for a month, 3 weeks, whatever. Yeah. So it's not the same. So
I think there's been enough examples of it being the same for me. You've got Shaq.
There's no one else.
You've got Shaq, who's been times when he hasn't been injured, has been taken out of the team, sometimes out of the squad. You had the same with Keita.
When has Shaq done enough consecutive games to warrant a starting place?
It doesn't have to be a starting place. Sometimes they don't even get on the bench. Sometimes they don't come off the bench. Sometimes we're losing.
Yeah, but Paul, that's the thing I'm saying to you, Paul. If they don't get off the bench, there's a reason. There's a good enough reason. And these are unfortunately, like I said to you, these are the reasons we're not privy to. Just because you as a fan think, I would have him, Klopp sees way more than we do, obviously. So we can sit here and speculate, but at the end of the day, we have to say to ourselves, there's a good reason. Klopp is the man
but he's not
that
perfect.
has brought us from strength to strength and brought us a title after 30 years.
He's not perfect.
So
this is my opinion. I think he's making mistakes.
Yeah, but nobody's saying he's perfect. But I'll be honest with you, Paul.
I've got the benefit of hindsight as well.
He's better than anybody sitting on this panel.
He's the best manager in the world.
Ultimately,
I just think it's bizarre
you have to
that
trust
Taki didn't even come off the bench in the last few games when we needed to go.
Paul. Yeah. Paul, do you know
whenever Taki comes off the bench, what does he do? He runs around and sticks out his leg like a
who was he coming
Japanese
in for and
samurai
what do you
sword.
expect him to do?
Like, come on.
Again, I repeat the question. If he was due to come on today, who for? And what were you aiming for him to do?
I would have just used past experience and I would have taken off Salah, put Mane on the right wing, put Taki on the left wing, and we've ended with the same team that started against Palace.
Do you know the one thing I wanted to... Sorry, go on.
You expected Taki to beat Walker Peters? Do you expected him to have an impact over Walker Peters, who was having a great game and was shutting down Mane for most of the game?
Why not? But how can you... Walker Peters plays for Southampton.
We're going
to end up winning the league. Why not?
If that's what you expected.
Why not? Why would that come into the play of what right back
done
play
in the past that gives you
That's
such hope for him?
semantics.
To be honest with you, me personally, I want to back you. I want to back you, Paul. Yeah, but I haven't seen enough from Taki. Yeah, one thing you said that
enough.
One
How
thing.
about anything?
Hold on. Hear me out. Yeah, the one thing, and one of the other things you said about Naby. Now I have a Naby shirt. Yeah. And it's mad. This man has fully let me down, yeah? You know what's so crazy? We're talking about every single one of us. I'm pointing at every one of you. Everyone can remember that man's turn in that game. Do you know how embarrassing that is? That's the one thing that you can sit there and go, I'll ask you for a real one. All right, Mane's an exception. So-and-so's thing. But no, for me, he's got little bits that he's done. You go, wow. And that's it. He ain't done enough. Taki's best game I've seen him play was against us. All right, he scored that goal against flipping Palace, bro. I'm being real, bruv. He don't do enough. When I want to see a guy like him, he's flimsy. So if you're flimsy, you can't get into this body contact. So you got to be trying to wriggle and jiggle.
Let me ask you a
That's
question.
what you got to do.
Let me ask you a question then, guys.
I'm listening.
Has he played his last game for Liverpool? Would you not play him again?
Who? Taki now?
Taki.
What, from his last game? Would I play him from his last performance?
As we stand, 5th of January, 4th of January, has he played his last game for you guys? Would you never play him again?
I'm not saying that, Paul, but
nah.
he's not
He's
one
in
of
the
those
team.
players to be coming off the bench.
No, I'm not saying he's played his last game because, like Sam alluded to, wait, hold on. Like Sam alluded to, certain players for certain games, and there will be a game for Taki that we need his attributes. But I think it's just wild of you to say throw him on, and he hasn't given you, well, it's given me
The reason he would come on the
personally
pitch is
any
because he
good
plays
enough
for
reason to
Liverpool
get on
and
the
he's there on
pitch.
the bench.
It's just
It's that
Right.
simple.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
that simple.
okay. Well, listen, we need to move
They're
on from
dead.
the We need to move on from the Taki stroke Naby debate. End of the day, today was really bad, and there's probably things we still have. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about today's game
How
before I
would you
move
Do you know
guys
on?
what?
want us to score goals? Like,
Do you know? Do you know what
what
I was
can we do
gonna?
to change it? We're not scoring
Do,
goals.
do you know? Do you know what I was gonna say though? Yeah. What I was gonna say was the the forward that like as I say with the Mane situation, we need a bit more from the other two. That's facts. I find Robbo is still getting down and doing his thing. That Armstrong lad actually had a good half against him in the first half, and he was actually getting under his skin. So, and that's because Trent's not as effective at the moment. But then the other thing is, I'm not seeing much of a relationship between Mo and Trent as well.
Yeah, we
Like
just spoke
the
about that
relationship
last
on the
week.
other
Yeah.
side is the chemistry's different, like, innit? Now we need that. If you got that on both sides, now you're having you got issues for teams from both sides. At the moment, you can kind of channel where it's gonna come from, and you can deal with it because that's what it is for me. It's all about waves. So when you keep coming with the same wave, a team gets used to that. So to a degree, this is what I can understand a little bit of what Paul's saying. If you bring on a Taki, yeah, maybe it might give Walker's Peter something else to deal with, but you know what? I don't think he's at that level to give him problems. But sometimes something different is something, a defender's got to work with. But we're doing waves and they're too slow, bro. So I want to see us pick it up. That's what I want to see.
But do you think
No.
Klopp's systems allow players with different attributes to flourish, or do players
I
come
was
I
on
just
the
going
think
to
it's a
say,
pitch
sorry.
system.
and play the
Sorry, I
way
think it's a
Klopp
system.
wants
So
the
I think
team to play
when
as a
that's
whole?
why we've actually not been so. That's why we've been successful to the point where we are now, where we're all these injuries down, yeah, and we're still top of the league. All right, we played one more, we played a game more than United in that aspect, but we're in a position where we are now because when you take a player out through injury and you put another one in, they know exactly what they've got to do, and as long as they stick to the hymn sheet we kind of do all right, like, innit? But at the moment, our problem at the minute is the goals, innit? That's what it is. But you had these guys like Nico come in. He's had a bad game here and there, but he's done well. Phillips has done well. Williams done well against Spurs. I think Spurs just missed. Spurs should have really gone for us. I think now where our problem. You know why I think we didn't play our you see that the whole centre back thing we had Henderson and Fabs today, yeah. I think it's more now that teams know they can. Those sort of teams know they can get at us. They can go for it. People were worried more before. Now they're not that worried. Now they're like, these are looking more like a snack now. Let's go for it. That's what I think.
Sam,
Right
where
now, we've
where,
got
where did
one
the
goal
goals come
difference,
from,
Mane.
bro?
That's it. That's it. This is why we're in problems. We're in big, big problems. Because I'm not going to say that about Mane. Because I touch wood. Because you know what I'm thinking, Slim. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 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 no.
But,
Abu Baye.
but, yeah, there is no,
Yeah, don't bring
there
that
is
bad energy
nothing
in here, bro.
else
There's
going
enough bad
forward at the
energy as
moment
it is,
apart
bro.
from Mane. And he's literally trying to carry the ball himself into the net. And Firmino's Firmino. I mean, I don't expect to score a lot of goals, but I expect him to link the play. He's not linking the play with Salah because everything's bouncing off Salah. Nothing is sticking with Salah at the moment at all. And it breaks down around him a lot. But to his defence, I
Always
would say
breaks
that
down
a lot of
around
the
at
balls that
this
have been played
guy,
into him are
man.
not appropriate, man.
That's
You mentioned earlier on, Paul, the fact that Trent was just flipping it down the line. I didn't mind that, you know. I didn't actually mind that because at least he's giving something for Mo to run onto, which is the balls that he likes, as opposed to pinging it at him at pace, at chest height, when he's got these big 6'5" defenders on him. It's like Trent is trying there to just flip it down the line and revert to type. Because that's how their relationship was before. when Trent would run after his pass, and either Mo would cut in or he'd give him a reverse pass for a cross for someone to score.
But a lot
of the time now, Salah's not even getting them passes.
Yeah,
He's
because
not even getting them passes. The passes he's getting today, they're not accurate. They're not the right type of passes we played to him. And as I said, Thiago was so deep, he couldn't even pass the ball through the lines to get to Salah. So he's not a threat at the moment. And not only is he not a threat because he's not getting the ball, but he's off form. Since the end of the Palace game, he's been terrible. Yeah, we need to recognise that. Forget about tonight. Forget about the game against West Brom. For me, it was the Newcastle game. When he's missing chances like that, you know he's in one of those periods where it's just not coming off for him. Yeah. And for me, that's a bigger problem than anything else. Because if we've only got one goal for it, you double up on Mane, we don't score. We don't score because there's no goals from midfield, is there? So who's scoring?
But that's them. Yeah.
Amen.
So,
my solution is what Sam just said. He just ended it right away.
What's
There's
the
no
solution?
goals from midfield. How many goals do our midfielders score a season from open play? Ox was the last one. Now, I remember when, obviously I'm a massive fan of Jones, the mixed race Steve McManaman. I remember one time Slim said, I want to see more from Jones. And it was a game where I was like, actually, he's doing what Leo loves Winnie to do. He's recycling. He's passing the ball right to Robertson. Or he might be on the other side and he passes it wide to Trent. That's what Klopp wants his number 8 to do. Protect the fullbacks. We need to now liberate them and let them play football. We're talking about the relationship between Mane and Robertson. I'd like Ronaldo to be in that relationship. I would like whoever's playing on the right hand side, Jones or Henderson, if he move forward, or Thiago, to have a relationship with Salah and Trent, and play diagonals and play between the lines and play little slip passes in between the centre back and the full back. If we don't do that, we're not going to score any goals. Literally not going to score any goals.
Do you know what I would like to add though, Slim? Yeah, and people might say, I think someone said the other day they don't want any excuses with not having defenders and stuff. But I think a massive miss for me is actually not being able to have Fabinho up there as well, because we've lost him to being back there. He's doing a great job there, but what he gives you in that middle, my God, could you imagine like a Fabs, a Hendo and a Thiago, like if you want to thing it. It's actually insane, like, but you're losing that because of this whole centre back nonsense. So if you could at least rely on Matip, to stay fit, and you get another one in, I'm just saying, you get another one in, the shift, that you get moving up through the team is going to be incredible. We are losing things in different areas because of that. No one actually sees that. We just see it as there's no excuses.
Brucey, can I just counter that by being slightly negative?
Go on then.
I agree. And, it's funny, when we play the Cities and Uniteds and stuff, Klopp's system will probably work. And if we had all our best players in the right position, I just have a feeling, just from watching people defend against us, that they're used to our methodology of playing wide and whipping it in, of going down the line and whipping it in. It's just my opinion. And...
It's what you said. It's what you said at the top of the. It's what you said at the top of the pool.
I know.
At the top of the show. Anyway, show pool. Seriously, I'm so upset. I just lost my words today, people. No, the predictability. That's the common theme between all of us. We're saying the predictability, and it needs to change. But I was trying to get some stoneclad. I feel do this and it will change, or do that and it will change.
Do you know what, Slim? Just quickly.
Seems to be going off on a little tangent slightly.
The only thing that changes is not the way we
for me, the reason why...
Go on, Sam. Playing United next is a blessing in disguise. They're going to be licking their lips, thinking that, we're weak, we're vulnerable, we're there for the taking. If the players don't get up for this, call it a day. Forget national lockdown the Premiership and just call it a day because Liverpool are done. We will get up for this game, and that is what has to change our season. It's simple as that. It's not how we play; it's who we play, and there's no bigger game, is there? They're coming to our backyard, bro, to take our record. To lock off that 68 games. They're coming for us. So the players need to stand up, and it's now. Forget anything else. And shout out to Chris as well. You lied to me, Chris. You lied to me. We'll talk later. But that game is all that matters now.
No, but this is why I said the centre back thing. Although what Leroy said is true, I'm not here to play excuses football. Yeah, our midfield's deep enough and good enough to cover the loss of Fabinho in there, and yeah, the next league game has to be the trigger for the turn on the season, because losing to that bag of shite
Our midfield,
is
though,
just not
I
going to be
beg to differ.
acceptable.
But when
You
you're
school,
talking
brother.
about the
Just bounce in,
midfield,
man,
like,
TG.
who are you talking about? Hendo, it's just a Hendo, Genie, and Thiago midfield, or what midfield are we talking about? Right?
That a Hendo, Genie, Jones, Hendo, Genie, Thiago. That midfield is good
And the reason
enough
I
to cope
disagree with that is because I
with
feel that
Fabinho being at centre
we
back.
lose some. Like Jones is, for me, he does his thing, but I've just been saying before, he's too casual with it, man. That's my thing on him, and that's why I'm onto him.
That is the arrogance. That's the
We don't
arrogance
have
of
time
youth,
for
though,
that,
isn't
though.
it? He
In that
will
regard,
learn
though, that's why I'm
that he
saying that.
can't
That's why I'm
always
saying our
break
midfield
time
isn't that
in certain
strong, though.
situations. But for me, no, yeah, but I take your
Overall,
point. I take your point, but for me, if I
He's
have
been
to
brilliant.
look at Jones's performances, all of his performances
He's
overall,
been brilliant.
it's a positive.
Straight up.
yeah,
I
hundred
take
percent.
Jones in midfield over Taki or, or Naby
I'll
Keita.
take
There you
Jones over
go. So
Ox.
for me, those two sets of
Yeah,
midfielders should be enough.
at the moment I would. Yeah,
Oh,
Taki for
100%,
me is a sub
100%. I think
up
Ox
front.
is trying too hard, and I think he'll
You
get
really
there.
believe that, Slim? You don't
I
think
think
Ox is done?
Ox will get there, but I just think
No,
he's
he's not
trying too
done.
hard, and it's not quite
I
working
think
for
his
Are
him.
you
dance
sure,
is
bro?
done.
I think
I
he's
think
done.
his dance is
Nah, I
done.
don't
You
think
know
so.
what I think
He's
his
got
dance
too
is
much
done?
talent.
He's
He's
chasing
got too much talent.
that season where he got injured and broke up. Yeah, he's not been really the same. He's had games here and there. I mean, in that he played I mean, that was that goal he scored against West Ham. That little dink. He had a few little performances last season along the way
He's
for
done,
us.
man. He's done for
But I
me.
think overall, his dance is done, boy.
Do you guys think
The
you write
music's
players
off.
off a bit too soon sometimes? And like,
No,
no,
A guy like that
I
like
has
don't.
been injured on and off for what, his whole career. Like,
I
I'm
don't.
sorry, but for me, like, everyone loves Ox. Don't get me wrong, but for me, we've been saying for a while now in the group that he's done. Like, he's literally done. He doesn't have a position in the team. He doesn't have a role in the team. Yeah, and when he comes on, we don't know what position he's actually going to have an impact on the game. And for me, he tries so hard, and you just want him to succeed. You really do. But for me, I just don't know what the point of him is anymore. I really don't. Like, for me, he's moving towards tour guide level. You know what I mean?
nah. You guys, you done the same thing with Taki, who's played 7 games. Like
Now, Taki's a
you
different
guys are
kettle of fish, man.
That's a
writing
That's
bit
you
just
writing
throwing you up,
players
bro.
off too
7 games.
soon. They no have to
7
Any
be.
games.
any any
I
any
just
means
I'm just
possible.
let me tell you
You
why.
love to
I'm
try and
using
get
him
Taki in
as
the
a reference
conversation,
point.
brother.
Sam, you can't just say Ox is
Any,
done.
any
The problem
little
Ox may have is that we
get it
have like
in.
8 central midfielders. That could be one of the reasons Henderson was like today, okay, I'm gonna put Klopp was like, I'll put Henderson back there. Even I was thinking our best team when everyone's fit is Fabinho, Van Dijk, and Thiago as a triangle. That's how much even I was thinking. Oh God, we've got so many midfielders that I feel like I want them to play and get rhythm and blah de blah. But Ox is not done. Someone else could get injured and he has to play. Do you know what I mean? He's a good footballer. He's a good footballer.
They- Well, look, time is of the essence. We haven't really spoke about the Newcastle game. Anybody
It
got
weren't as
anything to
bad
say on the
as
Newcastle
Southampton.
game?
Like, looking back at it, we had some
Yeah,
decent
Pressing
chances. We
must get it
actually
out, innit?
created a couple decent chances. We love to cross it every minute, and it was classic Liverpool crossing. There were decent deliveries, decent headers. We were probably unlucky.
Question, and it's just a quick one. In that Newcastle game, Mane goes down. It's a pen.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course. Of course.
yeah,
100%. I'm
uh,
glad you brought that up because that's what I was going to say next. That
mental.
was a stonewaller. We have been absolutely robbed by
Oh
VAR
my God,
because I think
man trips up,
days
you know.
Yeah,
later,
but
Man
Slim, the
United
guy
get
went down,
a
wasn't it? At the end of the
dubious
day,
penalty against
VAR
Aston
didn't fuck
Villa.
us up. if they start pulling back decisions for when people are challenged and don't go down, there's going to be pens every single game,
Bless
3-4 at a time. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a penalty, but Mane didn't go
Excuse
down.
me.
So what are we
You know,
expecting here? You
do you know
expecting them to
what
pull
though?
it
It's
back and
when
say,
no, do
It
yeah,
is
but
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but we got to stop
yeah.
man
To
not
be
having to go
fair, it's
down
like
to
that's the
you
thing.
see
He
him
didn't
getting
go down.
impeded.
ridiculous.
So
You can
If that
clearly
was
see the
us, it'd
guy
be a
pulls
penalty,
his
bro.
leg back.
If it was the other way around, I'm telling you, it's a pen.
Sam, I would
Newcastle
say
get a pen.
Sam, I would say that's something then like at the end of the season has to be sorted out. During the season, I guess Mane has to go down. But it's a debate that has to be taken seriously. We saw it earlier in the season, well, about 2 months ago. You can get punched in the face and the referee's like, play on! Well, the minute you go down, it's a pen.
Oh my
That's
god, yeah.
ridiculous. The players are always going to go down if you don't give them a foul when they're obviously, and the word is impeded.
Yes, yes, spot on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mane did the correct thing by staying on his feet
He should
and
get
trying
two
to get to
chances,
the
Slim. He
it's
should
ball.
never
get a
gonna
chance
He
to
happen.
needs to
shoot
be
across,
rewarded for
and,
that,
and then it should be
and the
pulled
play
back
needs
for
to
the
be
pen or
brought
free
back.
kick.
Simple.
Yeah,
In fact, you would get the free kick,
yeah.
wouldn't you? It's like when it's weird when it's in the box, they don't give it.
Standard.
I've actually seen free kicks given when they
Standard.
don't go down outside the box. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, that
it's
happens,
mad.
but it's never going to be
Mad.
that way in the box. Unless your shirt's getting pulled. We got one from
Listen,
Salah, I think, last season
it's been
against Arsenal, was it? I think
it's been
when his
said.
shirt was pulled. Yeah, by David Luiz. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But rarely does it happen. If it's a shirt pull, yeah, but generally, nah. Otherwise, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. The standard of refereeing and the consistency in their decisions, I shouldn't say the standard of refereeing, the consistency in their decisions has been shocking for a long time. And I think it needs looking at, and the whole referees association, whatever you call it, needs pulling into line, man. You're only going to cut out diving if you reward players for staying on their feet. Simple.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
yeah, Stonewall pen for me. We were robbed. So it goes, another draw, away day hoodoo continues. Lads, a bad day at the office today. I'm going to draw a slight line under it. Last 5 minutes or so, I just want to talk about a threat to our throne. The team that's manure.
About as serious as anyone
Excited.
else because it's still a mad
serious
season.
should
It's
we be
still a
taking
mad
them?
world out there. Another lockdown. I said this before. These players are, we give them hell. They are human beings.
Another
We've
lockdown's
had
been
some of our
announced
players,
today.
some of the players out there have had COVID. There's such a thing called long COVID. 0.1% of Mane's game is enough. Do you know what I mean? Mentality, thinking about their parents, their family, etc., 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 and it's shown in the results. In the beginning of the season, I thought that the best teams would be far ahead because it'd be like a training exercise and they've got the best players. No, actually, the Premier League has a lot of good players. Do you know what I mean? And the training ground atmosphere is working for a lot of people. It's working for Villa, it's working for Southampton, it's working for Everton, and it's obviously worked for Leicester, although they were a decent team anyway. And it's open water. It's just training sessions. People are relaxed. They can take a touch,
Yeah.
and there's goals flying in.
I think that
One more
lack
thing,
of
Slim.
pressure from fans,
I wouldn't
your
be
own fans,
surprised.
opposing
This
fans,
is I thought was
like
a
you
quite
said,
funny
Paul,
one.
that's a
If
good
they
point.
were
That's
if
really
they
helped.
if they weren't politicians for a second, if they done a secret poll of Premier League footballers, especially, would you prefer to play with fans or not for the rest of your careers? I wouldn't be surprised if it went towards no fans, racist abuse, like saying things about your family,
People said
etc.,
no
etc.
fans.
Why not? You play good football
Yeah.
too.
I see your point.
United, yeah.
I see your point.
To
But
be
even
fair,
I'm serious, man.
you take anyone seriously if they're around then, but I'm looking at it. This is 16, 17 games played right now, so come back to me with them guys another 5, 6 games, mate. That's what I'm saying. Well, mm,
You know what my problem is with that? People are saying that,
What about
yeah. I've
us?
heard next man say that it's only 16 games in. Bro, since it's hasn't it no, it's about Manchester United. Hasn't it always been, Sam, yeah?
100%.
get to Christmas and
I
be
think
in
we're
within a
being really,
chance,
really
and you
arrogant
can
as
win the league.
fans, not taking them seriously.
Were they
I
not?
think the fact that Ole's in charge has clouded a lot of people's views because he seems like a twat. He seems like a PE teacher. He seems like he's got a talented bunch of players and he's just letting them play, and they happen to be in form. We need to take them seriously because we're off
Do you know
form
what?
right now. Yeah.
For
So
me,
while we're off form and people are
yeah.
picking up points and potentially coming above us, they are a threat. Don't get me wrong. We will come into form and we'll have our run, but until that happens, everybody is a threat. And what is it? It was 4 weeks ago. It was Spurs. No, 4 weeks ago it was Chelsea, I think. Then it was Spurs. Before that it was Leicester. This is United's turn, but they're further on into the season. We're hitting halfway, so we need to take them seriously. It's that simple. It's not that deep.
Man City are the team, man. Man City are the team, bro. They're
Go
gonna
on, what
be
you want to
there.
say, Bruce?
They're gonna be there. Standard. There's two teams in this league
Well,
in that
they had
aspect
a
of
great result
how they
against Chelsea.
of thing consistency, and we're there, innit? We are there. We've lost 2 games this season, boys. 2 games. We haven't been that great. We lost 2 games. We got our injury list is mental. It's like a flipping. It's like your shopping list for flipping when you go out. You know what I
The
mean?
injuries is not an excuse anymore now, though.
Yeah,
Man
they
City
got
are
to play us,
actually 4 points
and then they got
behind
their
us
game
with
in
two
hand. That's what
games
it
in
is.
hand. So
So I
Brucey,
look
I'm
at it
looking at
as we
us
should
now,
be
bro.
looking to win that game. The only
We need
game
to
they got is that one. They got one game, bro. That's
we need
it.
to look at ourselves. We need to look at how we break because we're gonna play. We're gonna there's more shit teams than good teams, and actually fancy us against all the good teams. I don't fancy our pattern of play against the low block, and I don't
What
see that changing until I'm only an armchair fan, but that's my opinion, and that's what scares me
United,
before I watch the
United
match.
are gonna try and hit us on counters all day long. That's all they're gonna look to do.
That'll be
So
fine.
what do we do?
We'll be up for them.
What are we gonna
We'll
do?
be
Play
up for them.
Hendo? We're gonna play Hendo and Fab again at centre back?
Hopefully not.
Is that what we're gonna do? Nonsense, bro. Nonsense, bro.
well, that remains to be seen, and I'm sure we'll find out in due course. But lads, I got to wrap it there. People out there, yeah, I know the energy was a bit off today, but it's just how we feel, innit? Just got to keep it real.
See the name
Listen,
there, yeah,
you
people.
know the socials,
Bajan Bruce.
like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what I mean? Do all that good stuff. But I've got to wrap it up now.
We'll be
Your
back
boy
in a
Slim
couple of
as
weeks' time for
always.
United preview.
Engineer Sam in the
Full of
building.
energy and back on form, ready to go top on our own.
Yes, boys. Yes.
R.I.P.
Bajan
Jerry
Bruce.
Manson, man. We'll never walk alone.
And Professor Paul.
Wicked. Yeah.
Well said, well said. Until the next time, guys.